In the beginning, they were perfect. Adam and Eve, the pinnacle of creation. But one day changed everything. What really happened when paradise was lost? What secrets hide in the shadows of Eden's tragedy? The perfect beginning. Adam and Eve lived in a state of unimaginable harmony, a divine symphony of perfection. They weren't just the first humans, they were custodians of the earth, imbued with wisdom and abilities beyond anything we can fully comprehend. But what did perfection mean? Some ancient texts suggest they radiated light, clothed in divine glory. They were immortal, their connection to God so direct that the very concept of death was alien. The forbidden tree. In the middle of Eden stood two pivotal trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Why would God forbid them from one tree but allow access to the other? The tree of knowledge was not just any tree. Some scholars believe it symbolized free will, a test of trust and obedience. Ancient texts hint at something deeper. Consuming the fruit may have altered their spiritual DNA, introducing mortality and separating them from divine perfection. The serpent's deception. Enter the serpent, a mysterious, intelligent creature. Some believe it wasn't merely an animal, but a manifestation of a fallen celestial being, later known as Lucifer. The serpent's question was cunning. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? This wasn't just temptation, it was psychological warfare. Eve was led to doubt God's intentions. The fruit was described as good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for gaining wisdom. But was it just fruit? Some interpretations suggest the act of eating it symbolized absorbing forbidden knowledge, unlocking powers they weren't ready to handle. The fall and the immediate aftermath. The moment Adam and Eve ate the fruit, something profound happened. The Bible says their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. This wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Their divine covering was gone, replaced by guilt and shame. Interestingly, the text doesn't describe the fruit's taste. Could it be because the focus isn't on the fruit, but on what it represented? Disobedience and the fracturing of a perfect relationship with God. When confronted by God, their response was telling. They shifted blame. Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. The unity of their relationship was shattered, marking the beginning of human strife. Death enters the world. God's judgment was swift but measured. Adam and Eve were banished from Eden, severing their access to the tree of life. While they didn't physically die that day, something inside them did. Spiritual death, the loss of their divine connection, marked the true tragedy. But there's a mysterious detail. God made garments of skin to clothe them. Where did these garments come from? Some scholars argue this was the first sacrifice, a foreshadowing of redemption through blood. The ripple effect across history. The consequences of that fateful day echo through time. Ancient records outside the Bible describe similar tales of humanity's fall, suggesting a shared memory across cultures. From Greek myths of Pandora's box to Mesopotamian legends of forbidden gardens, the story of Adam and Eve reverberates. Modern scientists even trace the idea of a genetic bottleneck in humanity's early history, adding a layer of mystery to the narrative. Could the fall of Adam and Eve have left an imprint in our very DNA? Though their story began in tragedy, it didn't end there. The promise of redemption was embedded in their punishment. The serpent would be crushed and humanity restored. The legacy of Adam and Eve is both a cautionary tale and a message of hope. What truly died that day wasn't just innocence, it was the old way, paving the path for something greater. What if the story of the fall isn't just about loss, but about the ultimate plan for redemption? The truth about Eden is deeper than we imagine. The mystery of what happened to Adam and Eve may hold the key to humanity's greatest questions. The hidden truth, what really happened the day Adam and Eve fell. They lived in perfection, beings of light and glory, untouched by death or sorrow. But in one fateful moment, paradise fell. What really happened in the garden? What mysteries lie buried in the ashes of Eden's lost perfection? The guardians of Eden's secret. Adam and Eve weren't just humans. They were extraordinary beings, designed to mirror God himself. Some ancient interpretations suggest their bodies glowed with divine energy, clothed in a supernatural radiance that wasn't mere skin. They were the caretakers of Eden, a place unlike anything we can imagine. It wasn't just a garden, it was the center of a cosmic plan. But amid the perfection, one mystery loomed: a tree whose fruit was forbidden. The forbidden fruit, a mystery beyond taste. The tree of knowledge of good and evil wasn't just about fruit. Why would God forbid it? What made it so dangerous? Some believe the fruit wasn't a fruit at all, but a symbolic key, a portal to forbidden knowledge or a transformation of their very essence. Could it have been tied to divine mysteries humanity wasn't ready to comprehend? Ancient scholars proposed that consuming it altered Adam and Eve's very nature. It unlocked mortality, severing their connection to eternity. This wasn't just a test of obedience, it was a safeguard against something far greater: the serpent's true nature. The serpent, a creature of cunning, but was it merely an animal? Many believe it was far more, a being of immense intelligence, perhaps even Lucifer himself in disguise. The serpent's words were calculated. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? It didn't just question the rule, it twisted reality. Eve's curiosity turned into a dangerous hunger, and the serpent didn't lie outright. It planted doubt. But here's a mystery. Why didn't Adam stop her? Some texts hint that Adam may have known what was at stake, but chose to join her in her fate rather than live without her. Was this an act of rebellion or love? The moment, everything changed. The instant the fruit was eaten, the world shifted. The Bible says their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. But this wasn't just physical awareness, it was the loss of divine protection. Some ancient sources describe this as the moment when time itself began. Before, they existed in a state of eternity. Now, they were bound by the ticking clock of mortality. Their glowing forms faded, replaced by fragile flesh. The judgment, a hidden mercy. When God confronted them, his judgment was swift: exile. But there's a mystery in the punishment. Why were they barred from the tree of life? Some believe the tree of life held the power to make their fallen state eternal. By banishing them, God was ensuring they wouldn't live forever in brokenness. And then there's the curious detail. God made garments of skin to clothe them. Where did these garments come from? Many suggest it required the first sacrifice, a hint at a future plan of redemption. Blood was shed to cover their shame, a foreshadowing of a greater sacrifice yet to come. The legacy of Eden's fall. The ripples of that day are felt to this day. Cultures across the globe echo similar stories of a lost paradise and a fall from grace. From Pandora's box in Greek mythology to the Sumerian tales of Dilmun, humanity seems haunted by a shared memory. But what if the story is more than a cautionary tale? What if it's a blueprint for understanding our purpose and destiny? The mystery of redemption. The story of Adam and Eve didn't end in despair. Their fall set the stage for the greatest mystery of all, the promise of redemption. The Bible hints that Eden may someday be restored, a paradise regained. What truly happened in Eden we may never fully know. But one thing is certain: our story, like theirs, is far from over. The answers are hidden in the shadows of time. Will we ever uncover the full truth?